going to make artisan bread, which has 4 simple ingredients: flour, salt, yeast, and water. I start by adding 3 cups of flour to a large bowl. Then 1 3/4 teaspoons of salt. A 1/2 teaspoon of dry yeast, and then 1 1/2 cups of water, and mix it all well. If you wanted to make any additions or add any seasonings, you would do it at this point. Either Italian seasoning or garlic or herbs de Provence or rosemary would probably be good. You could add raisins or dried cherries, whatever you'd like. Once it's mixed, you're going to put plastic wrap over top of it and set it aside on the counter for 12 to 18 hours. This is what it looked like after sitting overnight. And then this is after 18 hours. So I take the plastic wrap off and then dust my countertop with some flour. Pour the dough out onto the floured surface. This dough is so sticky, you're going to think that you did something wrong, but you didn't. This is perfectly fine and the way that it should be. So I try to make it into a ball, and I'm just going to let it rest on the counter with the plastic wrap over it while my Dutch oven is preheating in the oven. You're not going to need to knead this dough at all. I've preheated the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, and so now I'm just preparing the Dutch oven. I'm putting parchment paper in the Dutch oven just to help with cleanup, and so I'm just trimming off the corners. And I wanted to get this done before I preheated the pot. The Dutch oven needs to go in the oven at 450 degrees for 30 minutes. Pull the Dutch oven out of the preheated oven and be extremely careful. You might want to use 2 or 3 hot pads when you do that, because it will be screeching hot. I put a dish towel and 2 hot pads on my counter to put the Dutch oven on. I didn't put the parchment paper in the Dutch oven when I preheated it, but I moved the dough ball over onto the parchment paper, and then it was easy just to lift the parchment and put it into the very, very hot pot. the lid on, and into the oven it goes at 450 degrees for 30 minutes. This is after 30 minutes of baking, and so now I take the lid off and leave it off for 15 additional minutes. That lid was so hot when I removed it, I probably should have used 2 or 3 pot holders. So here is what the bread looked like after 15 minutes uncovered. And it's just beautiful. Having the parchment paper in the Dutch oven made it really handy to pull it out of the hot pot and put onto a cooling rack. The husband wouldn't even give this a few minutes to cool before he wanted to start cutting into it. And here he is. He thinks he's really funny, pretending to use a chainsaw to cut it. This bread has a really crunchy crust and hard exterior to it, but it's delicious, and we loved it. So here you have artisan bread in the Dutch oven. I hope you try it. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you like these videos. Bye-bye.